I think I've stumbled onto something pretty crazy here. Normally when you're making resin dice, you want to avoid getting water in there at all costs because it will prevent your resin from curing properly. But what if we flip the script and use only water? And no, I'm not just going to freeze water and say that, look, I made ice dice. That would be rather lame. Now, normally we use alcohol inks to dye our resin because it evaporates so quickly and just leaves us with color. I think I came up with a chemical solution to making an all-water dye, but we obviously can't use tap water because who knows what's in there. And then I had my light bulb moment. I needed to pressurize the water with a tank of beryllium and hydrogen. If you look at the periodic table, the solution was practically staring me in the face. The cheapest solution I could find for this was actually smart water. Not only is the water distilled and purified, they add something very important to it. Smart water adds electrolytes to their water. This is exactly what we need to give our hydrogen and oxygen atoms a crystalline structure when pressurized. From this point, we're going to go ahead and make dice like we normally would. It's very important that you use a cap style mold because if we used a sprue mold, some of the oxygen would leak out when pressurized. For that same reason, it's important that your lid of your cap mold is thick enough so that it's heavy enough so that no water can leak out during the pressurization process. Now we're going to add the mold to the pressure pot insert and put it inside our pressure pot like we normally would. Now this isn't going to be like resin that cures in about 24 hours. You got to temper your expectations. This is a completely different chemical process. This is going to take a total of 6 weeks inside your pressure pot, and it is very vitally important that the pressure goes to exactly 37 psi. Any more or less and it's going to end up a goopy mess. Now don't be afraid, whenever I depressurize this, it's going to make a very loud hissing noise. That's normal after leaving it pressurized for that long. Now I gotta say my expectations were very high, but I was not at all expecting this result. I was finally able to answer the question, instead of using resin, can I make dice with only water without freezing it?